Hi there, it's Kalymnios from the Thought Gym, here helping you become your superhuman self. This series of videos is all around movement. So this is about how can we move our bodies a little bit more, maybe first thing in the morning, maybe during the day when you've been sat down at your desk for a while. So what I call them is 5-a-day movement flows. Why am I calling it that? Well, because we're often told about eating 5 a day in terms of fruit and vegetable, but not always in terms of movement. So the way it's going to work is these are only 5 minutes long. There are 5 exercises and you do each exercise for 30 seconds, which means you do each exercise twice. There are different series in this whole movement repertoire, from a foundational piece to a mobility piece to a stretching piece to a strength to a more of a HIIT training, even to a Qigong inspired flow as well. So there are many different ones, and the way it works is that you either take 5 minutes and you just do 5 minutes. So maybe when you wake up in the morning, just before you brush your teeth and jump out the door, you do your 5 minutes. Or if you've got 10 minutes, you can do it twice or stack a second one on. Or if you've got 25 minutes, maybe you stack 5 together. So it's really up to you how you do it. They're going to be individually set as videos, but then they'll be all stitched together in one long flow as well. So you can actually do this as an entire thing with one video. But really the idea is you just do 5 minutes, and if you've got 10 minutes, you stack a second one, 15, you stack a second one, a third one. Also, there will be, with some of the exercises, more like beginner, intermediate sections and more advanced sections. So where appropriate, the screen will be split and you'll have the beginner section on one side, or beginner intermediate on one side, or intermediate advanced on the other side, depending on the particular exercise. So do what you can, and there'll be a timer as well, so you'll be able to just follow along with the timer, and the idea is not to think about it. If this isn't the first time you're watching the video, no need to watch the introductions and the exercise explanations. You can just jump straight into the exercise. But we're going to get started by showing you the different exercises for each of the routines, and then the routine will be after that. So the video will be longer than 5 minutes. So without any further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the core series of the 5-a-day movement flows. This one is all about strengthening the core, which is not just the belly, of course, it's the side and the back, it's everything in the middle. So 5 exercises, 30 seconds each, as before, explanation of the exercises plus their regressions or their easier components. So first one is plank. So I'll show it side on here. The full expression of the pose might be this, okay? Try not to have the hips down or too high up, somewhat like this. A somewhat easier version might be to come onto the forearms and to do it instead, and maybe a regression might be even just coming onto the knees and holding it, or maybe like this. That might be enough for you, okay? So whatever works for you, works for you. Next one is going to be side plank. So again, full expression might be something like this. It could be that your foot is up even, it could be that your foot is in front, it could be, if you want an easier version, that you bring your knee down, maybe you swivel your foot out and you have it like this. It could even be that you come onto your side on the forearms but have the knees off the ground, or maybe the knees slightly on the ground. So totally up to you. Other option as well is to have the foot halfway like this, okay? So a few different options there for you on that side plank. All right, so we had plank, we had side plank, and the third exercise that we're going to do are up downs. What are up downs? They're from high plank to low plank. So high plank, low plank, high plank. Alternating, you know, left, right, right, left, whatever. Just try and mix it up. Again, you can do the same thing on your knees to make it easier. So that will be the regression for that one. Next one will be back extension. So trying to open up the core, starting from a tabletop position. So options here will be maybe just to have one leg lifted slightly off the ground and pulsing with the leg, or having the arm lifted and pulsing with the arm and the leg, be a bit harder. If you want, you can mix it up and bring the knee in and out. Knee in and out, and pulse. And then either do one arm, one leg completely for one round, or do 15 seconds on one, 15 seconds on the other, and then do that both rounds. So up to you on that. And then the last one is going to be leg extensions. So back nice and flat on the ground, so tucking the pelvis under to keep the lower spine on the ground, and then we're going to take one leg down and then the other leg down. To make it a little bit easier, you can have the knees bent and then you can bring the foot down like that. Okay, that'll be a bit easier. If you've got issues with the lower back, maybe you want to put your hands underneath the bottom and do it that way. Yes, there's an option to do both legs as well, okay? And again, making it a little bit easier is to have the knees bent and doing it that way instead, okay? Try not to arch the back. The back needs to stay flat on the ground. That is the kind of golden rule. So there are your 5 exercises. Let's get started. So in our plank position, we can either be on the forearms or on our hands. Again, not too high with the butt, not too low with the hips, somewhere in between. You want a little bit more of a challenge, you can always lift one leg and do it that way instead, okay? Even more of a challenge is to lift one leg and one arm, but that is a little bit more advanced, a little bit harder for people to do. So whatever works for you. Side plank, again, just stay on one side, it'll be easier rather than doing 15 seconds on each. Try and do 30 seconds just on one side. Keep the hips a little bit high. If you want, you can lift the leg, that's also an option for you. Or grab a toe if you want, up to you. Look up, look down, wherever is comfortable for you. And then up downs. So again, plank position, left, right, right, left, right, left. Whatever works for you. You can do the same arm, different arm, mix it up. Again, you can do this with one leg up if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. Okay, and then back extensions. So extend away, knee to nose and knee to elbow. Again, maybe 15 on one side, maybe you just do everything on one side and then change the next time. Okay, it's not long, 30 seconds, probably about 25 by the time you get into the work. And single leg extensions, maybe supporting the back, maybe not. So keep the lower back on the ground, that's the main thing. Stomach tense, lower back tight to the ground, full length of the legs if you can. And we're going to go back to our plank hold. So again, 30-second plank hold. If you are going to try one leg, one arm, zip in down the center line, lift, float, see what happens for a few seconds, come back, do the same thing on the other side, just do maybe the leg first, then the arm, see what happens, see if you can hold that. And coming back whenever you need to your rest position of the full plank. Up, downs, oh no, sorry, side plank, sorry. It's a side plank on the other side. I guess it doesn't matter if you do it in a different order. It's all getting done at the end of the day. Again, leg lift if you want. Looking up wherever works for you. This is a tricky one. Then we are going to go to the up downs now. Again, you can do it with one leg up in the air If you want, make it a little bit more challenging. Maybe it's challenging enough. And then we go to the back again. Ooh, let's do this side, okay. And now I'm going to just do the opposite knee and elbow from what I did before. You may have done half and half, that's fine. Whatever is working for you. Just try and balance it up is the main thing. And then leg extensions. Single leg, double leg, whatever you feel like doing. Maybe you do single leg for a bit, and then you do double leg for a bit. It'll be a bit harder with the double leg, but you know, you just work out what you need to do. A couple of seconds and we're done. And we're done. Well done. Thank you for doing this 5-a-day movement flow. I hope it's made you feel a little bit better. And remember, you can stack the flows, do them repeatedly throughout the day, morning, at work, when you come home, just before you go to bed, whenever you want to do it. If you've got 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever it is, and stack them on. So be sure to check out the other videos in this series so that you can get all the benefits. And remember to connect with me online, social media or otherwise, The Thought Gym, Harry Kalymnios, that's where you're going to find me. Cheers, bye-bye.